Hello and welcome to Little Sue. So I've not been on for a wee while because I really need to do some organising. Now, I'm one of these people who keeps all of her receipts, and I mean all of them, even for like a pint of milk or a 50p loaf of bread, I will keep the receipt because I like to make a note of what I've spent, where I've spent, and that. So all my receipts had just been piling up and I needed to organise them, and that took a wee while to do. But I also needed to organise my table as well, this table here, because there was an awful lot of mess on it as well. So for the past week, that's what I've been doing. But I have also not been feeling too good. I actually have a cold. So I've not been feeling great within myself. But I have done some crafting. Now, as you can see in front of you, there is a nice selection of jars. So the lovely Colette, who is Country Creations here on YouTube, is also Country Creations on Facebook as well, had a decorate your own jar challenge. And I decided that I was going to decorate some of my jars because I actually use all of these on my table just over there with rulers, scissors, pens. I also have a Stanley knife that I keep in one of them as well. So I thought I wanted to decorate them a wee bit. So let's start off with, so I want to do the biggest or the smallest? Let's go with the biggest first. So I did this one. Now I'll show you the inside because you can see it better. As you can see, there is a lovely bright coloured napkin that I Mod Podged onto this jar to start off with. And then I didn't like it. I also did the exact same with this one. It was the exact same napkin. I used it to Mod Podge onto the jar and then decided I absolutely hated them. I couldn't find anything to decorate them with. I didn't like how it was turning out. So I ended up just using some gesso, as you can see around the bottom here. I've used gesso to take away the colour, so as much of the colour as you can. I didn't mind having a wee bit of colour showing through, but I didn't want the amount of colour that you can see inside here. It was just really, I don't know, it was hard to explain. I really didn't like it. It wasn't going with what I was wanting, and I decided to change my mind. So the very first jar was this one, and this is, if I just bring it up, you can just see there, that is, it's like tulle. And then there's all these little roses on the tulle. And this is actually the width of it that I got. And I cut a wee bit, just 3 rows off it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6 rows of roses going along. And I cut 3 of them just to go around the top of it as well, because I wanted the whole jar covered in it. And then this is like organza. It's really soft. And it also came on tulle as well. And I glued them to the top of this just to make it all very, because I really like those two colours together. So that's what I did for my nice big jar. Now the next big jar, so you can see it a lot better here because this is lace. So as you can see, you can still see a wee bit of the colour coming through, but it's nowhere near as bright as what it is inside, because that's what I gessoed over it. And I used this purple lace that's got some, if it'll focus, there is some tulle there, and then it's got these rolled flowers on them with the little pearls in them. So I really like that for round the middle. And then round the top, this is actually the whole width of the lace. So all the way up here, all the way down to the bottom. So I quite liked leaving this part just up here as like a little decorative part, but I didn't want to, because it stuck out a wee bit too much. So I wanted something to stick it down, and I found this sort of gemmed ribbon, and I absolutely love this gemmed ribbon. And I love this one. Really, really like how this one's turned out. This one's one of my favourites. Actually, technically they're all my favourites, but... So, next off is the next largest one. I'll just move these right out the way. Is this gorgeous peacock. And there's a little blue butterfly down here, but it's actually hidden. So you don't tend to see it unless you're sitting down at the table. But this is a napkin. So this is what I'd originally done with the two big ones, was I just Mod Podged a napkin on. And this was gorgeous peacock napkin. And I've actually seen a peacock in real life, and they're absolutely gorgeous. I was lucky enough that me and my husband, when we were on honeymoon, we went to this sort of nature farm park, and they had peacocks. And at the time, I actually didn't know that it's only the males that have this big ring of peacocks. The females don't have any of that. And the males only have it to show off. And they only do it when they're actually in mating season as well. And we were lucky enough that it was actually mating season, so they had the big massive feathers up and out and everything was showing off and everything. It was amazing. I loved it. So that napkin reminded me of that day. So I really, really wanted to use the napkin. So I used most of the napkin. So the part right round the middle, I used that because there's 4 of the peacock images on a napkin. I cut off the bottom of it because it was too long and I really wanted the peacock and not the other way. Then round the top here, if it'll focus, I used this crochet trim, the cream crochet trim that you... Now, is it Home Bargains? You got it in like cream, pink and white. Well, this was a cream one that I thought worked really well with the sort of colouring of the napkin. And then I have this Hessian trim. I can't remember who sent me that, but I received it in a pocket letter, so I only had a little bit of it. And I wanted to use it round the jar as well, because I thought it matched the blue of the peacock feathers as well. And then to give it some bling, I used my little gems just around the jar. So that is that jar. And as you can see the peacocks inside of it as well, which is pretty cool. So with the rest of the napkin, this is what I did. So if I just bring this one back in, as you can see, that is the little blue butterfly there. So I've used him there. And this blue was actually what was around the bottom with the butterflies on it. This was around the bottom of the peacock napkin. So I Mod Podged that on here. You can see a couple of the little butterflies. I Mod Podged some onto the top. I'm not really worried because if it'll focus, as you can see, there's like a part. I've not got anything on it. I used this green feather with a purple up here. The blue butterfly goes with the little butterfly here. And then I used this blue crochet trim around the top of this one and around the bottom. And then I put the gems around the bottom of the crochet trim at the top, but the ones down the bottom, because this is the bottom of the jar, I decided there's these tiny little holes, as you can see right there. I decided to use the gems in each of the little holes, and then I hot glued these beautiful little flowers onto the side here. Now, I'm sure there was one there. Oh, there was, it's fallen off. I'm going to have to glue that back onto there. It's meant to be one right there, but it's fallen off. So I'll glue that back on later. So that is my 4th little jar. I was very busy. And for my 5th little jar, now this one I keep all of my brads. Now these are brads that I got off of AliExpress. So there's pearl tops and gem topped ones in different colours. Now I do plan on ordering some more brads. So I wanted a jar to keep them all in, so that I could just lift the jar whenever I wanted one. Oh, lid's not going on. But for this jar, I decided to go with this washi tape. So it's got beautiful blue and pink flowers on it. And there's 2 of the pink flowers. So I used that going around the base because it's quite thick. And then I used a pink washi going around the top of it, around the side of the lid of the jar. And then on top, I took part in Michelle Stratford's embellishment box swap, and you were to send 2 mini embellishment boxes to her. She'd swap them out and send 2 back to you from 2 different people. And one of my embellishment boxes had these gorgeous resin flowers and the little paper flowers. Now the little paper flowers are absolutely tiny. And then these little gems here were a flower gem that I've just broke off and just shoved, hot glued the little gems in just to give it some sparkle. And I absolutely love that. So that just literally sits on my desk and looks so pretty. I love this one. This one and this one are definitely my favourites of them. Can't really pick because even though it's a bit of a patchy job, I do actually really like this one as well. And I really like this one. So I can't decide, but that is my project shares. Just lie them down. You can see them a bit better. So this is what I have been up to for the past couple of days. It did take me a while because obviously I put the napkin on, I had to wait for the napkin to dry, then decided I didn't like it the next day, so I gessoed it, had to wait for that to dry. So these 2 jars actually took about 3 days to do, just because it did take so long to wait for the drying process. But now that they're done, I do actually really, really like them. So I hope you like my jars. I'll try and bring you up a wee bit. There we go. So thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like my jars, and thank you so much. And I will see you all again soon. Bye for now.